everyone. I shouted that. Welcome to Are You Afraid of the Citizens, a sideshow on the Celluloid Citizens podcast brand, hub. I don't know what you'd call it. A sideshow from the main show. Anyway, I'm Sean Malia Thompson.
I'm Tiffany Morris.
And today... Today we're going to be talking about the tale of the fucking weird one about the horse girl.
Yep.
No, what is the actual... It's the tale of the Hungry Hounds. That's it.
Of the Hungry Hounds, yeah.
I wanted to say the tale of Mon Petit Rouge, but I'm like, I definitely don't think they would have done the French. So
No.
just to start, okay, do you think this is Quebec, or is it just they happen to be speaking French?
No, that could be anywhere in Canada, because it's like we have two official languages, French and English.
Okay, because
English is the dominant one.
I'm a dirty American, so I guess when I hear the French, knowing it's Canada, I'm just like, Quebec?
It could be Quebec, but I think a lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes are kind of non-specific.
Yeah, it's not specific. I mean, clearly it was filmed around Toronto or something, but...
Yeah. It could have been... Like, usually if people are from Quebec, they have a Quebec accent, even if they're English speakers.
That's true. Yeah, I have heard... I mean, I've been to Montreal 3 times, I think. I've actually been way more than I realized, because I've only ever been to Romania or Quebec. Or, sorry, Montreal. Like, that's the only 2 places outside of America I've been to.
That is so random.
And then I just realized that Montreal was like 3 times. Dude, Montreal rules. No, I mean, part of it was we could drive there. So, driving from Massachusetts, it's only, I think, like 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not much farther than if you were driving to, like, the top of Maine.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's about the distance from here to Maine.
Yeah, also my mom wishes she was French, so I think that was what started it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even though she's just entirely Irish. She wears like berets and shit, and I'm like, Mom.
Nobody will care if you do that in Montreal.
No, they did not.
It's not a Montreal French stereotype to wear berets.
No, it isn't. I did eat my dog bowl of poutine when I was there.
Last time I was in Quebec, I forgot to have poutine, so like scrambling, I was at the train station or like the mall above the train station, and I was just like, where can I get it? And there was a McDonald's, and I was like, no, is the McDonald's gonna have poutine? And I went, and it was just like, it was not great. It was McDonald's poutine.
I mean, yeah, we had an interesting time, Emily and I, the last time, because it was like, well, we saw a double rainbow for one, like in the farmlands of Quebec. That was crazy. But also, yeah, we stayed in like this hotel in basically the red light district.
Yep.
So it was like this weird brutalist architecture, and like there are these sort of like postmodern hotel rooms that were just like bare concrete walls and a very low to the ground bed.
Yeah, it's weird that that's still kind of how like boutique hotels do it.
I know, they're just like a murder warehouse. This is your, and it's like more expensive. You're like, okay. And there was the strip club across the street, and we were near, I guess, Chinatown. I don't know what the Asian part of Montreal.
Yep.
And yeah, we got some poutine out of a dog bowl while the pimp was yelling at his lady inside, and I was like, I'm very uncomfortable, but this is good poutine.
Yeah, well, hey, Montreal is a land of contrasts.
It really is. But anyway, 10-minute aside. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I know you hate this episode.
I hate this episode. I've always hated this episode. Even as a kid, I was like, this shit sucks. I probably didn't say shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it, but like, I think I had a crush on the like horse lady.
Yeah.
So that probably would have like, infected my thinking of the quality. There are parts I still find effective though.
Really? Like I didn't find any part of it
Well,
impactful.
part of it is like it's not even like they execute it well. It's like there's an old man that's entirely in white paint, and it's
Yes.
just a scary thing to see.
I
Like
do appreciate that they do that. Like that's a good practical effect that will always read as ghost to me. Like it's good.
right, but I'm just like that's a sketchy looking old man that's entirely painted white. So like it
Yeah.
scares me, but like it's not because it's like a good necessarily paste or dramatic. It's just because it's creepy looking because
Yeah.
like wherever they ended up casting these random fucks from.
Just a random union.
And I think the idea of it is scarier to me than the actual execution because just the whole like you put on a jacket and suddenly like the entire day turns into night and we're walking to a graveyard and I mean the hound stuff is pretty lame.
Hounds are so lame. Like, I don't know. It kind of reads like a classic gothic short story,
I
right? With
almost
like,
for half a second was like, are they doing like a half-assed Shakespearean type thing or Hamlet or something? But
yeah, it's like there's the family graveyard and there's the, like possibly cursed heirloom and blah blah blah. And
yeah,
hounds, like it's very British, even though it's not.
well, yeah, because the whole thing about like with the hounds and the horses and hunting a fox is a British tradition,
Yeah.
which seems like I mean I'm not like a vegan or like against eating meat or anything, but I'm just like I've never understood it. I'm like, there's no sport in that. Like you have like a fucking army of horses and dogs. Like
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. To me, it always seemed really just boring and bougie. I don't know.
it is.
I
I
guess there's a
mean,
certain aesthetic appeal to it, but
I like the aesthetic. I mean, like the whole. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Like horse girls can be hot, but horse girls are very specific. I don't know how else to like. I just feel
yeah.
like you'll never measure up for a horse girl, so you're just doomed.
I even as a kid, I hated horse girl stuff.
Well,
Like I was
it's
just like,
just like they're a
I'm
very
not into
specific.
horses.
They're a
Don't care.
specific type of person usually, and that person
Yeah,
is like you are never going to satisfy me because I'm
right. It's
used to
like
this
an
enormous animal between my legs.
upper class, upper middle class
Yeah.
pursuit too. So it's like, yeah,
And it's almost worse than dog people because at least dog people you can be like, oh well, puppies are cute and you can play around, but it's like you can't play around with a horse. The thing gets scared and it
no,
kicks you in the face once, you're just in a coma.
yeah. I mean, I dread the apocalypse partly because I'll have to use horses.
I mean,
It's
I
gonna suck.
Emily and I went on this thing in Acton, Massachusetts. This is a true story. I've loved cowboy shit my entire life practically, but never ridden a
Right.
horse. So we go to this place and it just killed any like cowboy shit in me
Yeah, man.
because I was terrified of the fucking horse. There's
Yes, they're
signs when you
scary. They
walk in
smell
that are like,
terrible.
don't put your fingers near the horse. He might bite them off.
Yep.
And it's not even a joke. That's legit. They're like,
No,
yeah, don't put your finger near it. He could bite your finger off.
they're
And I'm like, and you
skittish
want me
and
to sit on
cranky.
its back, you say.
Yeah.
And it was just like we got these horses that clearly just did the same circuit like all day. And I know because I was on at one point and I was definitely moving the reins the wrong way. And the horse was like, you're an idiot and just still going the right way. Because at some
Yeah.
point I realized like, oh, I'm going to the left, but I meant to go to the right. But the horse is still going to the right.
Yeah. Like there was growing up we were friends with some people who did barrel racing with horses and like I would go horseback riding and I was just like, yeah, this is cool, I guess. And then like I eventually was just like, they wouldn't let me like go on the old mare that they had anymore who was really chill.
I mean, I think the
They're
thing
like, go on
about
this
it,
scary one that loves to buck. I'm like, no, that's fine. I'm done with horses.
well, the first one they gave me was this one that was over it. So I got on, the thing just started eating hay and like off the, like some grasses or something off the trail. And
Yeah.
I was like, I've never ridden a horse in this. And I was like, can we get, and he'd go, "Rrr." He was pissed.
It's
And
like,
I
no.
finally was like, yo, I've never ridden a horse. Can you give me the fucking easy one already? I don't need the one that I gotta like fucking, that I gotta discipline. because this will not work out well because I've never ridden a horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's some shit where like it helps if you're like have a farm and like you literally get to see the horse every day.
Yeah.
Because just like randomly showing up is awkward. It would be like randomly having someone's dog for the day. It'd be maybe a little easier, but it's still like, this isn't my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird episode. I was laughing at the fashions.
Yeah.
I think one of the jokes I told you over Messenger was I was like, who's telling Pam that she's going to be marrying a woman?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, seriously, she dresses like she's in a cult. She's got like the work shirt that's buttoned all the way up to her neck, and it's tucked into her khaki pants with the belt. And I think most of that's just 90s fashions.
Yeah.
But it's
lots of vest.
Yeah, and then her Amy, who's the cousin, has like the vest that like my mom would probably wear 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In her 50s, I should add. Sorry, Mom. Telling on my mom. It's a weird one. Like, I don't know if scary is the word.
No, it's not scary. I don't know. Like, to me, it's barely even, like, it has those gothic elements, right? Like I said, but like, it's barely even that. Like, one ghost shows up. She's kind of possessed by a jacket.
Well, technically 2 ghosts show up because her aunt, oh my God, Dora, whatever the fucking name was of the aunt, the dead one.
Mm-hmm.
She's like far, I mean, it's clearly the same actress because it's the same likeness. She's far away on the horse and riding away. And
oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, there's a part where she's like, come back. And then she ends up back in the attic. And, well, I don't know. It's sort of vague. It could be the same girl. But I sort of saw it as like that was like the spirit of the real dead aunt.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, 2 ghosts.
I mean, it's vague enough that like it's either she like real quickly like shooed the horse away and ran up the stairs and hid behind the clothes before Amy, or they're 2 different people. It's not, look, it's Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's not like they always have the best coverage. You know, they clearly did like 3 of these a day or something.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, let's get to the tail of the something with the thing. And let's move to the house that we used 10 times.
Yeah. They're just changing out the set in between, like at a play.
Basically. Let's have Sardo. They probably did all the Sardo episodes on the same day. And
this is taking the magic out of it for me.
No, they probably didn't. I mean...
No, it was all actual Toronto.
It was.
Even though I know that the campfire was a soundstage.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
No, they let children play with fire.
I mean, what kills me was the pilot. It was clearly just someone with a flashlight turning it off and on the actors. So it appeared there was a fire.
That's what fire looks like. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, again, for some reason, I thought this was like season 2. I didn't realize there are all these episodes that I guess I just for some reason assumed were like much later in the series that are like much earlier.
I feel like there's, I feel like there's another Lame Fox episode.
I mean... And
I don't know exactly what happens in it, but I think that one is also British coded. Sorry to any British listeners, but...
I'm partly British, but not much.
I mean, I am too. Thanks, colonialism.
Yeah, I mean, we're not... The thing is, Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's got, like, I'd say, like, various vibes for the seasons. Like, season 1, the vibes were very much just like, we're riffing on an established thing. So, you know, we're doing it, but not. We're doing Shakespearean, but not. We're doing the monkey's paw, but not, you know. And I think later on they sort of like... They started doing weirder shit, like, oh, there's aliens, and there's an enormous arcade game that's a mall. Shit like that.
Yeah, I super actually I super love the next episode, which is the Tale of the Super Specs. That's one of my favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes.
I think this is our first Sardo.
The Super Specs, yeah.
Yeah. Sardo, no Mr. Accent on the dough. I hate that I've retained that my entire life.
Yes, I remember so much Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it's like, can't remember how to do math. Remember this?
I mean, I've definitely been around people and been like, no, Mr. Accent on the dough. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
See, that would be fine with like Canadian peers. We would all know what you're talking about.
True.
You're just suffering for being in America.
I mean, I'm not kidding
Canadian.
though. Like, it was like a big conspiracy when I realized, like, wait a minute, these are all Canadian. Because it was just on
super Canadian.
It was just on Nickelodeon in the US, and like I guess mistakenly I assumed everything on Nickelodeon was like from the US.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And that is not. I mean, now it's probably the case. It wasn't always the case.
I think I'm not sure if Are You Afraid of the Dark was always part of the Halloween stuff that YTV would do, which was like our version of Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Or not, because they always had like special Halloween programming and it was always awesome. But I think maybe Are You Afraid of the Dark just existed outside of that too.
Are You Afraid of Dark is this weird sort of like co-productional, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it was obviously Canadian, but they had the deal with Viacom, which owned, I think, Nickelodeon or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why we got it on. But yeah, I mean, not an amazing episode. I mean, it's fine. I don't know. Oh, we forgot to do the dad tally. What were we calling it?
No dads.
I mean, there are no dads. Yeah. I forget what we were.
I don't know if we ever named it, did we?
I was thinking dad tally, but like the dad count. I think so far, 5 episodes deep, our dad count is 1, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of single moms.
Yeah, it's almost always moms on the show.
You like
Sometimes
never...
it's 2-parent families, but usually it's just single moms.
Yeah, I mean, I think more if you see a dad, he's in the like evil family sometimes. You know, like the spooky, yeah. Like I remember there's a vampire one. You see the dad in that, but he's like supposed to be a vampire, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I remember this one very. For some reason, first season, the stuff I really remember was like Tale of Laughing in the Dark, Tale of the Hungry Hounds, Tale of the. I was about to say Monkey's Paw, Twisted Claw. And those are the ones I like super remember from season 1. I'm sure as we go, there'll be others I remember too. But I also, I mean, this was, this was back when you didn't have like a season of a show you could just buy very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, I can be forgiven for that because they definitely played shit entirely out of order. Like they would just play the reruns and shit. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm running out of shit to say. Like, I wish we had more to say about the actual episode, but I'm just like, yeah, I mean, she puts on a coat. She stops looking like she's in a cult or Amish.
So why did her aunt have to feed the hounds? Like, did she die before she got to? Is that the whole thing?
I think she died before she got to feed the hounds.
And then she fed the hounds and everything was fine.
Yeah, I feel like this should have had a horse name, like the Tale of the Cursed Horse or something. Because it's like, the actual hounds, I know we've got a hound that Kristen brings, so they were like, dog.
Yeah, it's like there's a fox, right?
Yeah, there is a real fox.
So it's like
that's Mon Petit Rouge.
Right.
The little red.
It's like, there's like all these different animal elements, but nothing's really done with them, and it's just like...
No, because all you get really is like the sound effects, and then at the end, the dogs supposedly running after the fox.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a real lame ending where Amy finds kibble in her pocket. And it's like, we have to feed the dog. And she's like, I know exactly what to feed. And then I'm like, the implication, I'm like, wait a minute. Can you feed a dog like ghost kibble? Or like interdimensional
dog.
kibble? You know what I mean? It's like if you found a sandwich when you were like wearing a haunted jacket and it took you to this like alternate sort of, I guess, dimension. Would you eat the sandwich?
No.
Right. So I'm like, don't feed your dog ghost kibble.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, again, it's children's programming. You're not supposed to think about it too much.
No.
I do love the image of like the attic with the stairs coming out of it, even though I'm like, how fucking short is your house that you can...
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird one.
It is.
I don't know. Like, nothing about it really hits for me. I don't know.
Really just the old guy in the white makeup and...
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm laughing at the fashions, of course, which are coming back or have been
bring
back.
Up that at the very end of the episode, where usually the kids will say, "Oh, great story," whatever. There was dead silence, which I laughed.
That's right. I didn't even notice that, but you were like, "Yeah, it's just dead silence."
Everybody hated it as much as I did, I'm sure. And then Gary makes some sort of joke about having to feed your dog or something. It's a really lame joke.
Or he'll have a bone to pick with you.
Right. If you look at one of the, what's the kid's name with the brown hair? Who's not his brother?
Steven?
I think so. He gives him like a death glare. Like, this is amazing.
As should be deserved, yeah. One of the things I'm noticing rewatching and like actually sort of paying more attention is like, I think Kirsten and Steve have a thing going on.
Oh, okay.
So Kirsten brings her hound and she's like, Steve, can you help me with the dust? And he's just like sitting on the ground right next to her. I don't know. It's very casual, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how it is. I was just like, I bet there's a thing between them. Not the actors. Well, I mean, like it's supposed to be implied in the actual universe itself.
Yeah. Isn't he the one that gave her the locket?
He did give her the locket, but I mean, how many boys give girls lockets? And they're just like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
My sister's friend, he gave her his grandmother's diamond ring or something.
Oh,
My
no,
sister was like, what?
No.
My parents were like, you have to give that back.
Right, no shit.
He has to take that back.
I mean, yeah. I'm laughing that she calls it dust. You know, it's like, Steve, can you help me with the dust?
Yeah.
I'm just like, is it just called dust? Like, I thought it was like, like what? I mean, they don't always refer to it, you know? They're just like, they just throw it. This is one of the few where they're like, the dust. I'm like, so is it a dust? What is it? I mean, I know what it is like sort of like a low-key gunpowder type thing that you can buy.
Yeah.
And then when you throw it, you know, you can get it to make different colors and shit. They do sell this type of shit.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably do it twice and then be like, cool, I'm done with that forever.
I'm over it. Yeah.
But yeah, a bunch of dust heads.
Yep. Ow. Sorry, my cat bit me.
That's fine. You don't have to laugh at that joke either. That was a bad joke. I feel just like Kirsten after her story. Just dead silence. It's like, anyway, moving on.
That was the funniest part of the episode to me.
I don't think I ever noticed that like no one does anything.
I only noticed it because I was in I was in a bad mood. I was watching this while I was out and about running very annoying errands.
Yeah.
So that's why I also missed the ghost on the horse.
Ah, okay, yeah. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I mean, if we're doing a rating out of 10, I don't know, 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it a 5. So there you go. You liked it.
I liked it one more than you, but I didn't.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot to... I mean, part of it is they're 20-minute episodes. So to like do something really effective in that 20 minutes, I feel like it helps to not necessarily... Like you either have to really nail the real time or you have to like it has to be something where the transition of time like really pays off. And this one it just doesn't. Because it's just like you're in some alternate kind of night dimension. And so that itself is interesting, but it's like all that effectively happens is she walks to a graveyard. She talks to an old ghost. She finds a horse. I don't know. She finds a fox. She finds some hounds. The end.
Yeah, like, okay.
And like, there's no real... The only real like peril is that the hounds, you have to feed the hounds, but it's like, it's not like the hounds ate someone.
Yeah, like, or what?
It's
what are they
they're
gonna
just
do?
dogs, so it's like they're just hungry. Maybe they're ghost dogs. I mean, I guess they'd have to be ghost dogs. They'd probably be, because it was from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or not, those dogs are long dead.
Yeah, but like, there's not much menace.
No.
Like if the old dead guy was chasing her, that'd be one thing. Like, oh shit. But there's not really menace.
Yeah.
But again, we're both 230-somethings watching this, so.
Whatever. I felt this way about it watching it as like an 8-year-old, so.
I just remember it from the fucking French. I remember being like, why are you speaking French? Because I didn't know it was Canadian.
Yep, that's why.
For the record,
the Ouija board I noticed had goodbye/au revoir.
It is sort of weird. Like, I mean, like, there's obviously French people in America, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as common for someone to just be speaking French.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's normal in Canada, but not in the US.
Right, yeah, so. I don't know, man. But anyway, both of our cats seem to be restless.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up. You can find us on YouTube. That's probably going to be the best way to find us going forward, because Spotify for Podcasts has stopped giving me ad revenue. But yes, I mean, we are also on Spotify for Podcasts. Anchor. I'm still going to say Anchor. I liked Anchor. I don't love Spotify for Podcasts. It really doesn't roll off the tongue. Fucking bait and switch, man. But whatever. Good old YouTube. But yes, anyway, the fucking back catalog is on Spotify for Podcasts. So, but I am trying to get the entire catalog onto the YouTube channel. Just got to understand that each one takes me at least an hour, and I've got about 100 left. So only about 100 hours of man hours to, get the catalog up on YouTube. No big. But it's going to be easy to get all the Are You Afraid of the Citizens up on there. So those are going to be up probably the same day as they go onto Spotify for Podcasts. And yeah, I'm going to try to get all the Tales. I was about to just say the name of the show. Dark Side Citizens. I'm going to try to get all the Dark Side Citizens up onto YouTube soon enough. And we should probably get back to it at some point.
Yeah, I'm down.
I just want to finish it. I just want it in the rear view at this point. Like, I mean, you know what? To be fair, I think I still have that one we absolutely loathed. I just didn't have the energy to actually edit the episode yet. So I think that's 10. And I just haven't done it for months because I'm like, oh God, I got to fucking revisit that one. Just in whatever capacity.
Yeah. They can't all be winners.
Oh, and I would argue most of Tales from the Dark Side are not winners.
Most of it is getting a C-.
Yeah, I feel bad because people fucking love that show. But I sort of knew going in, it's like 80s cheese. I didn't expect we'd love it. I just didn't realize how much I'd hate it at parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's going to wrap it up. I'm Sean Malia Thompson.
I'm Tiffany Morris.
And yeah, stay tuned. Dutch Tilt Scream. Mon Petit Rouge.